Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well and having a great one out there. A wonderful afternoon. I just got back in from seeing family, just had a little brunch, and now it's time for a little music. I don't know, I was trying to think of a way to rhyme that, but there was definitely no way. Today we are going to check out Don Ellis. We're going to listen to the track Strawberry Soup, which is off of the album Tears of Joy, which was released in 1971. I see it's a live double album. Now, I've never heard of Don Ellis, so just looking at his Wikipedia page, he was an American jazz trumpeter, drummer, composer, and bandleader, known for his extensive musical experimentation, particularly in the area of time signatures. Well, on a 17-minute track like this, reading that, I assume there may be some changes involved in listening to the song here. We're listening to this because it was suggested and sponsored by Dustin. So Dustin, thank you so much. I appreciate the support on this one. And I say that I was also suggested as well by Jim Wilson a whole 3 years ago. Well, Jim, hope it was worth the wait. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. We'll, of course, talk about it a little bit after. Here we go. Feels like classical music. Doesn't it feel like a classical version or a jazzy version of some classical piece of music? And this is kind of like the opening shot of the piece. There it is. There it is. Okay, I see. That time. Okay, I see the pattern. Walk it out now. Love the bass and the percussion. I love how that rhythm comes back in the melody here. I love how these motifs keep sneaking back. Always gotta remember that. Drummer's coming in now a little bit heavier with the kicks especially. Still trying to catch the groove. The drummer's keeping time, but man, is he manipulating it. He's playing with that timing on this one. You gotta keep counting this. It's like everyone's playing kind of separate. At least to me listening to this. This is in its manic phase right now. This would be very hard to record. How many mistakes do you think they made in the studio? Let's bring it to a simple jazz step. Simple walk. Back to this. You know the sheet music for this had to be just black pages. Love how the bass came back there. Almost sounds like a ukulele. Or a mandolin. Counted the time to come back in there. I don't even know what time signature this is in. I can't even begin to count it. I was gonna try. I guess now would be the time. Never mind. Hey, this is a little something more, a little straightforward. Give me that ride. That second time it always goes off into something else. This is like the beginning, where it's just kind of empty. Just follow that main melody. Can't hear it anymore. Welcome to Las Vegas. That's some great drumming in there. This is like an endurance for a band. He's firing it up. It's like an army way in the distance. This must be incredibly hard to perform. It just sounds very complicated. Follow the horns. It's like the horns and string are just trying to hold that melody and keep that pace for the drums. For the drummers to just go like off. So vocals. Hey. I can count this one. I like how everyone's coming in now on this melody. They've just kept it going and switched instruments from violin and strings and horns to the vocals there. And now they've returned. Sorry, I'm humming with it. Bring it all back. Second time. Forward. Whooping and hollering. Bring in this ending. Show some leg on this one. The band indeed. Okay. I want to say something. The first thing I want to say is I'm going to look up some live footage of this because we listened to it off of a live album. This has to be like, I don't want to say one of, because that's a little bit too far, but this is a very, very complicated piece of music. This is, yeah, the whole forward that we read regarding Don Ellis and his experimentation and the odd time signatures and such. Oh, you better believe we get a lesson of it here. We got a whole classroom full of it here. This feels like a lesson, a final test. This is the final exam before you get your degree in music, specifically probably in jazz, whatever it may be. Jazz composition, jazz drumming, jazz, like performing. This is your final exam. And man, is this going to be a gate to pass, because I feel like this was just so difficult. And just imagining all of the sheet music for this, because I cannot believe anyone just remembering all of this, even though you know that there are many perhaps in this field that would memorize it, which is just a crazy testament to human intellect when, that intellect is used. Don Ellis handling trumpet, flugelhorn, and even some of the drums apparently in this album. Like, incredible playing from all of the musicians. And I love how it does play in the abstract and in the experimental, Yes, there's passages and moments where it's beautiful and melodic. And, there's even a few passages thrown in here that are a little bit more straightforward. A little, for someone like me, easy to catch up onto, latch onto, and then follow it. But then there are an abundant amount of moments in there that you just have to go, you just have to let the music take you. You can't follow it. It is making its own path, and all you can do is just watch from afar as it acts in the way it wants to act. Can I just say, however, the drumming is incredible. Not only just in general, the way that the drums are being played, but in keeping this all together in some capacity. The drums, you're going to have Ralph Humphrey and Ron Dunn on the drums. And like I mentioned, you also have Don Ellis apparently credited with drums. I don't know in this particular song or not, but he is credited. And I just thought the way that they played was so like interesting. It's so complicated, like incredibly complicated. Even throwing in a solo at moments there. The congas also being brought in through this track. Lee Pastora on the congas. I liked the side adjacent rhythm that was given to them. And then you have many other members here performing many other things, such as all the saxophones. You know, like I said, this is clearly a jazz kind of piece, but it also feels like it has some inspiration from classical music to me. There's some elements of like a big band kind of sound in here as well. Some of it was kind of reminding me a little bit in some capacity, not, you know, in totality at all, nowhere near, but just a little bit of like a Gershwin kind of piece of music. I thought it was really interesting to listen to. And like I said, to me, this feels like a test in jazz music. Now, let's go ahead and do what I said we're going to do, because I'm just curious. I just want to see some sort of live performance of Strawberry Soup, which, by the way, not only is it a very interesting title for a piece of music, I didn't think it was a real thing. Lo and behold, apparently it is a real thing. Mute me. Gonna use some orange juice, huh? Okay, orange juice. I'm skipping around. We use orange juice. Okay, you got your strawberries. I hear you. Cut them in half. I see you. What's next? Plain yogurt. Toss it in there. A little honey makes everything go down easy. So I did not know that this was an actual thing. Strawberry soup. Isn't it just like a thicker strawberry smoothie, I guess? That's... is anyone actually eating that? Is anyone actually eating that kind of strawberry soup? Okay, anyways, let me find what we were actually here for. Let's see if we can find a band performing Don Ellis Strawberry Soup. I'm scrolling and I do not actually see anything. Never mind. Okay, so while I don't see a band, I suppose, you know, Don Ellis, his band that recorded that album, I don't see a video for that, but I do see UCLA, I guess, performing this. Hold on, give me a moment. Put you guys up here. We're not watching the whole thing. As a matter of fact, I'm just skipping a little bit. This had to be their final exam. See the hits. That has to be so difficult. Let's get the horns. And he's got style too. Gotta catch it. Gotta catch it. That is crazy. Yeah, they got two drummers, I just noticed. He's the band leader. That is crazy. Look at all these people outside listening. They're just like, what's happening? That is crazy. That's madness. That is I mean, they all have sheet music. Every single one of them has those sheets, and that is absolutely Madness. That's crazy. That's a really wonderful piece of music, Dustin. Thank you for the exposure on that one, because that just feels like it's so incredibly complicated. And it truly does feel like a test just to like, okay, you want to be a jazz musician? Brother, have I got something to tell you. Let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, in the comments down below. I appreciate you all watching. Hope you enjoyed the music. Once again, Dustin, I appreciate the suggestion and the support. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Strawberry suit. Slurping it out.